G3 Podcast, episode 106. You're here. Sorry if you've been, wondering what's been going on. We finally got the thing fixed. That said, like, subscribe, share with a friend, do all that good stuff. You got known as Ice, Mow Them Down here for this episode. And we are talking about the latest in news. Unfortunately, we start off with the disappointing news. Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, only 300,000 players. At least this is being sourced from Game World Observer, and unfortunate because Ubisoft's had a lot of trials tribulations insofar as hit or miss on their titles, and now the big takeaway is this is kind of sad because apparently, and this isn't necessarily like inside reporting, so to speak, but a lot of Ubisoft employees are a little questionable right now. They're a little concerned about their futures because this thing, the Prince of Persia title, didn't hit its marks. So it is unfortunate, and now that we're trying to play catch up a little bit, Mr. Mow Them Down, did you want to? I know you went ahead and said your whole piece already, so apologies that I only now caught the audio thing. Any short stuff you want to throw in there for?
Sure, yeah. I mean, just to kind of recap, hoping that nobody's going to get like insanely weird feedback. Yeah, hoping that, this isn't something that's going to see a bunch of people on the chopping block. That doesn't really seem right. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Skull and crossbones, skull and bones, or whatever the hell it is. That's going to seem like more of a disaster. Yeah, I don't know. Lower the price. Prince of Persia. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I actually had to look it up as you were talking about it because I was like, wait, no, that thing's not a $50 title. And then when I looked at it, it was like, yeah, no crap, they're going for $50. And it's like, dude, like, we as avid gamers could look at that and go, there is no way that thing should be a $50 game. Like, I would go as far as to say 40 tops. And it's just like, is there some defined metric that we're doing that? No, we're just like put your hand closer to the stove and then you'll realize when it's hot kind of deal, right? Like we've experienced games for decades now, and while I understand wholeheartedly that the cost of game development gets more prohibitive as we go, that's where you expand your portfolio, right? Especially in the form of Ubisoft. Like they have a lot of different things, a lot of different opportunities that they could have used here to offset that price. I think if it was a $40 instead of $50 game, 100% you would have had probably four, if not close to 500,000 players. Like, and yes, to the point that you made earlier when the audio was jacking up, I definitely think there's something to be said about expectation management. People really looking forward to the stuff dropping in a Game Pass or PlayStation Plus or what have you. And I'm not gonna say that's a foul on our part as the consumers to be looking forward to getting that best bang for buck. But if
Audio's still not coming through, brother.
what's
And
it?
also, it sounds very weird now from you, and I'm very up to you. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
that's
not working.
weird. Because it looks fine for me right now. Okay, we're gonna pop out, pop
But do
back
you have
in. We'll
YouTube
see.
running and with audio on?
Huh?
Like, are you monitoring on YouTube?
I'm looking at it right now on OBS.
Or
Yeah,
can
it's
you
weird.
hear?
I hear you. I'm not
No,
gonna
no, I
hear.
mean, like, you have YouTube up and running to, like, I'm just saying, yeah, it doesn't sound like YouTube.
I've got it in front of me, but I don't know what's going on.
I
Uh,
mean, it's actively playing on my shit right now. Hold it up to my microphone, but
well, and I think okay, we're gonna go ahead and stop, adjust a couple
yeah,
things, and
something
come
wrong.
right back. So apologies, folks, if you're watching. Just hang on a sec. We'll be right back.
Somewhere all of your settings are.
All right, and we should be live. So let's we got to work some of the kinks out here, folks. We want to see if this actually made good on what we were looking for. All right, it Looks like we're back up. Can you hear us though?
We're gonna find out.
You're gonna learn today. What's that?
We have sound. We
Okay.
have sound. It's saying
Okay. Excellent. I don't know. We'll figure out. I also apparently need to figure out what's going on with my settings over here because it looks like we're dropping frames like crazy. So that's a lot of me work going on, but that's okay. You know that it's always good to improve ourselves. All right, folks. Let's press on. We kind of talked about the Ubisoft thing. If you were here earlier, um, then you heard. If not,
didn't hear it.
you'll go ahead and
You
hear
hear
in
it?
post when I go ahead and I edit all the stuff. So apologies if you didn't catch the full story. Check us out after the fact. Um, Speaking of checking out, so apparently there's a lot of folks that are checking out of buying Xbox hardware. So according to Forbes, we've got Microsoft is apparently saying, I think this was a comment basically by Satya Nadella during a recent press conference where he went ahead and he made, or an interview where he made mention of, Xbox wanting to be a large scale publisher or wanting to be looked at as a publisher in the space. And so, in short, by kind of moving that goal line to a different metric of, hey, again, focusing on software and services and whatnot, we go ahead and we start to see some of this playing out. And again, the biggest piece of this coming through with a follow up article being out of The Verge. Microsoft's gaming revenues are now overtaking or have overtaken Windows thanks to the ABK deal. So a lot of these are talking about numbers. They're talking about um, yeah, and again, Satya Nadella speaking here, the CEO of Microsoft speaking about some of this stuff. So we're already starting to see some of this merger play out where Xbox now. And it's funny because when I was looking at this myself, I was like, oh wow, so this is kind of like PlayStation. And I say that in the fact of if you look at the PlayStation brand, they make stereos, they make TVs, they obviously make the PlayStation, Sony that is. They make all these different devices, but PlayStation is their largest earner in the company. And so naturally, they go ahead and they're going to pay more dues and focus more on developing that business. And so now it's interesting that we're kind of already seeing one of the most, highly valuable companies in the world right now, that being Microsoft. We're already starting to see Xbox, the brand that previously was thought to be, basically sold off from Microsoft a couple of years ago, is now their most prominent earner, according to some of the latest figures by CFO Amy Hood and others at the company. So let's see. They said they made 62 billion in revenue. Ugh, that number. 62 billion in revenue and a net income of 21.9 billion during Q2. And then it's up 18%. Revenue is up 18%. A net increase of 33%. It talks about there's so many numbers in here. Microsoft being the first company to hit the $3 trillion valuation mark, and then it goes on to basically say, again, a lot of numbers and whatnot. But between these two, we're starting to go ahead and see, which this is disparaging. Additionally, and I'm not ignoring the fact that we just talked about Microsoft laying off 1,900 employees. So I'm not going to necessarily give them flowers. The fact that they're going ahead and they're saying, hey, yeah, we are, going ahead and we've got the highest earnings, et cetera, because my initial retort is, okay, great. Pay your employees. Take care of the people who are going ahead and helping you earn that money, right? And um, it's safe to say every company in the world right now is trying to figure out a way, and I don't want to go down the road of discussing AI as well, but every company in the world right now is trying to figure out a way of going ahead and putting in as little effort as possible to create a product with as long of a tail as possible, earning as much money, squeezing as much out of that product as they can. I think Xbox and Microsoft, we both have said good, bad, or indifferent things about Xbox Game Pass as a service and or the Game Pass service in general. Best deal in gaming, etc., etc. Even with the price increases, I would argue it's still pretty good. But it's still intimidating the fact that, hey, this company who obviously, and let's be frank, let's put the cards on the table, who obviously chases the dollar and chases that valuation because they were looking at, again, getting rid of Xbox not long ago because it wasn't earning what they wanted it to, now is the largest earner in the portfolio. And now with the ABK acquisition, the developer direct that we saw last week before, had a lot of titles in there, or a couple titles, not a lot, but a couple titles in there, none of which were from ABK. And we are hopeful that we'll see more of that in the future. But they're at this point they're just going ahead and cashing those checks for Candy Crush and all these other, Call of Duty Online, all these other titles that are going ahead and just making bank. So kind of taking all this into perspective, and I know you absolutely love talking about Microsoft. Why don't you let us know, Mo? What's your I can just see the pain in your eyes, just as I said that. What's your take on this? Like, so basically, the other part that I didn't really get touch on was hardware sales are down. That's the big driving thing. Xbox has said we want to sell software, we want to sell services. We're not really trying to tie ourselves to hardware. And surprise, surprise, ever since there was a finger pointed at the interview that Phil Spencer did with Kind of Funny last year when he said like we've lost the console war in the sense of the competition between the Xbox One and the PS4. Um, and so I think honest statements, but I think that is really now not blossoming, but it's really starting to manifest now in the form of what they said. Like, hey, we realize we're not going to get to play catch up. And so, good, bad, or indifferent, they started to kind of move in the direction where their focus is more on the software side than it is on the hardware side. So what do you think about all this stuff, all this news coming out of um, the empire that is Microsoft?
Whew. Uh, well, I mean, that's a hell of a lot to unpack there, homie. But I'll try to keep it
You
brief,
got it.
at
You
least
got it.
insofar as the main purview of this publication. Uh, the gaming sector there. I mean, yes, like now the revenue figures that they can claim exceeds some of their other products, but I mean that is essentially by taking ABK's sales figures and incorporating that into their own. So that's kind of a skewed way of looking at that. You also have to kind of offset that maybe by the cost of said acquisitions. So is that really quite the boom that they are able to present that as a certain framework? Um, yeah, I don't know. Like you said, I mean, hard to buffet the layoff hand in hand. Uh, yeah, I mean the hardware sales thing is shocking to me. Um, I think we hit the number of people that they're gonna hit by and large by large figures to buy a console. They've kind of seen that with for Game Pass as well, right? Where they've kind of hit their market cap in that as well. I think we're going to start seeing some expansion by the fact that you're able to access that without need. And so that was a smart move on that. But in terms of how it all works out in the end, remains to be seen. As you alluded to, uh, K part of the ABK does have solid revenue that they and always the ABK thing. I mean, properties for them to leverage. So, whether or not that's a huge boon for them in the long run, hard to say. You know? You are holding out hope that all of these big mainstay titles that they with all of that they just available on game. That's gonna hurt those revenue figures. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, most definitely. Sorry, I'm like over here fiddling with stuff because certain buttons aren't working in my setup, but such as the life of PC gamer. Um, yeah, hopefully, man, I don't know. I don't know. The big takeaway of all this is I think it's upsetting to say the least that it's like you want to celebrate them, you want to give them the flowers, but you just can't because as my camera plays this game, you just can't because at the end of the day they're they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna do what they have to do as a company, which may include letting go of um, letting go of employees. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try and everything that it's Murphy's Law today. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong
I wish we
apparently.
could.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try to work something in the background here with my camera.
Oh,
Ba-ba-bum. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just gonna disconnect for a hot second because this is being a pain in the butt. Anywho, um, so when we go ahead and we are talking about let's just move on from Xbox because I think we've beaten the horse enough with that one. Um,
I mean, I was liking where you were going. Like you
well,
saying,
I was gonna say you want to give them flowers, but
saying
as
like,
long
hey,
as
it's coming
as
back.
long as they're gonna act
Nah,
like an institution focused on the bottom line and trying to go ahead and get money for shareholders, like again, full disclosure, I'm a shareholder, but I joined or I started investing back when there was actually talk of potentially shedding the Xbox brand. Like that's how long ago I went ahead and became an investor, way before they started, making good on what they're focused on. Okay, and apparently this is gonna be a pain in the butt today. So I'm just gonna try and figure out how I can do this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, maybe if I do it that way. So, unfortunately, you're going to be the shining face right now, dog, because because apparently my camera just wants to be a piece of crap today,
all
and
right.
it's frustrating because it's a good camera. Anyways, um, so the other news that came out. So moving into, we talked about how Xbox moving away from hardware. Um, but what I want to go ahead is, in fact, look at hardware now because Elgato went ahead and they came out with some new product in the form of capture cards. And so this may or may not be something that we care about per se, but nevertheless, it's something of interest. What are you doing? My computer's just doing all kinds of stuff right now. It's like not even funny.
Hi, I'm Steggy from Elgato.
Shush, Steggy from Elgato. All right. enjoy the gameplay. So the other one that came up, if I can find it, they went ahead and they came out with the 4K Pro, which I'll put that one up here real quick. But basically, ahead and they're keeping up with the competition and keeping it intense out there. It is Elgato, so it is a little on the pricier side. I think these things are bumping up just under like the $300 range. Trying to pull it up. Yeah, the 4KX, your external capture is $230 US, and then if memory serves, the 4K Pro is 280 US.
Wait,
So
oh,
yeah.
okay, I was like 300, I thought, but yeah.
So, why are we talking about hardware stuff, especially after we just went ahead and highlighted Microsoft's lack of hardware focus? Just quite frankly, we try and tap into as many aspects of gaming as possible, and there is a huge contingent of the gaming culture out there that likes to capture their stuff and go ahead and push that out for the world to see. So just talking about one piece of tech, and I will say as a personal fan of Elgato, I kind of like their products. They have a very sleek design and everything. Not to say others don't, but it's more visually appealing to me. That being said, I think just going specifically on the hardware, it's pretty impressive stuff. And so if you're interested, again, if you're into game capture, you're into a lot of the different brands, what's hot, what's not, and what's going to work best for you. So we're just talking about that for a split second. What else is hot? Apparently, Hyperkin. Oh, I got to go back to the video for this because this is. So that's just an interesting little ditty right there for those that you know if you are interested in getting a Super Nintendo style controller, and the camera is gonna do this stuff again. So frustrating. Let me go ahead and see if I can put up some random gameplay that I wasn't ready to put up for us. Because I don't want you guys just. I mean, while Matt is a handsome duck, I don't want you to feel like you got to focus on his beautiful mug the entire time. Okay, whatever. You guys are gonna watch me flounder here slightly while I try and pull up the list. Anyways, so State of Play went ahead and they talked about a couple titles. The big takeaways: Death Stranding 2 from Kojima. There's a hint at the end where they were talking about it's a Kojima's also making a kind of spy action adventure, or was it action espionage game for PlayStation. They in the State of Play they highlighted Rise of the Ronin, a PS5 remake of Until Dawn, Stellar Blade, which I believe was previously known as Project Eve. They've since renamed it, obviously, and it's Stellar Blade. Dragon's Dogma 2, Sonic X Shadow Generations, so a new like remake of a Sonic game. This kind of got my attention. A couple things got my attention in this one. Silent Hill, the short message. So there's a little standalone Silent Hill game for PS5 that they made available right away, and Judas. And additionally, they announced Silent Hill 2, and they showed a little bit of that. Judas, we've kind of already known about Judas, a spiritual successor to the Bioshock franchise. Oh man, the list goes on. V Rising, Dave the Diver coming to PSI. Oh, there you go. Now my camera just decided to work. Dave the Diver, along with a crossover for Godzilla. Zenless Zone Zero, Metro Awakening. That was, kind of a teaser for a VR title coming to PSVR 2. Legendary Tales coming to PSVR 2. Foam Stars, they highlighted that, which that should be coming out in a couple days as part of the PlayStation Plus subscription. Yeah, so there's quite a bit going on there. So let me go back now that espionage game, and then winds up he's also going to potentially get some movie opportunities with Columbia afterwards. That said, that was a whole bunch of talk for the state of play. If I was to, we haven't really done this on the show too much. If I was to give it a rating, I would say probably a B, edging on B minus, and I say that only because, kind of to your point, um, there wasn't a lot of stuff that I definitively know is first party. Um, like Death Stranding, again, like we've kind of talked about Death Stranding 2, highly likely that's going to come out multi-platform later.
Yeah.
When you've got Foam Stars, yay, I get to look forward to Foam Stars. Until Dawn PS5 edition, yay, a remake of a game that I still have downloaded on the PS4, right? So they're definitely still pushing it, and I think the PSVR 2 stuff saved them, if you will, by me, somebody who I've been wanting to basically turn off my Xbox, not for any ill will, but I've just wanted to play more PlayStation lately. That's just been my thing. And so them giving me more opportunity, more reason to play that, all the better. I am a little anxious to see what the rest of this year looks like, and as far as first party stuff. But that's where I would lay. Just like I said, probably like a B or something. Um, was there anything? I think we kind of already hit that point. Was there anything that stood out profoundly that you're sitting there going, "Oh yeah, I need to get a PS5 now because of X, Y, or Z"?
Uh, no.
And no. All right, cool. So that being said, let's go ahead and we will head over to everyone's favorite part of the show, release radar. So let me pull up our list here and let's talk about some stuff. That was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot to talk about specifically for PlayStation. We've been on for a hot minute and we had some time, with technical difficulties. All right, cool. So we're recording this February 4th. We would have real world done it February 3rd had we hadn't had some stuff last night, but let's see what we got. All right, we've got Foam Stars. Again, that's coming out on PS5 and 4 February 6th. Helldivers 2 coming out on PS5 and PC. There we go. On February 8th. Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition. I didn't know we were announcing specific editions of games, but coming out on PS5, for Xbox Series, and PC on February 9th. I don't know if I want to go to that next one because that's kind of far out there. Yeah, let's just stop right there. Let's just stop right there. All right, cool. All right, we know Mo's gonna go ahead and buy a PS5 to play Foam Stars. Anything else that is interesting to you on that list there?
Not particular.
Okay, not particularly. All right, cool. Yeah, so for me, I'm gonna play Foam Stars. It's gonna come with my PlayStation Plus. I will pick it up. I will try it, and I will hold my opinions until afterwards. Helldivers 2. I don't believe that's coming to the subscription. I think that's coming out, for purchase. But I've seen gameplay for that, and that one interests me. So yeah, I want to get my hands on that. Other than that, again, short list for this week. The year is still building up, and we'll see stuff going forward. But as of right now, that's it for basically the next week to look forward to. So, Mr. MowThemDown, let's try to put a nail in the coffin that is this show, episode 106. What you been doing? What you been playing? Where can people find you? How are you looking on that backlog beatdown progress?
Not great.
Not.
I can't really tell with that game, if I'm being honest. So we'll see.
And for those that maybe didn't catch it, this is Metal Gear Solid 5.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I still got a fair amount of time at this point, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get through it. Yeah, I don't know. Got other things talking to my interest. I don't follow back into Baldur's Gate 3.
Don't do it.
I'm actually playing some Warhammer, like Civilization style game right now. But right, different thing.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you're truly known as Ice, all things gaming and social media, and I will always say social media. What have I been doing? What have I been playing? So I have been busy, very busy. Work stuff. Admittedly, truth be told, super stressed. Wifey's getting ready to have surgery, so I've been doing a lot of housework stuff in preparation for that as well. So not a lot of time to game. The time that I have gamed, I've been working on Dishonored, and me with my deadline of next week. I am getting ready for the hot Cheetos. There's no way, with how priorities have been and whatnot, there's no way that I'm going to have that done in time. So I will probably just lean in and buy some hot Cheetos, Coming up, salud. Some hot Cheetos coming up here sometime early this week. And then I'll probably record those, what do we say, 50 push-ups. My wrist feels better, so at least I got that
Right.
going for me.
Gotta be 100, dog.
Yeah.
Big,
What?
big, big.
Wait, we said 100? It's 100?
It's 100 if you lose. The whole deal was you are just gonna split with you if you won. That was like your.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
100. Got it. I'll kill that. All right. Yeah,
Big bag of. I got you.
I might as well, yeah, the monster bag. So I'll be like 100 push-ups and just guzzle down the bag of Cheetos. Yeah, there you go. I'm actually about to go have some lunch and see what kind of hot stuff I can get into, actually, because I'm feeling some spice right now. That being said, yeah, so playing Dishonored, and I'm fighting myself from booting up the PlayStation, because like I said, I really want to get back into Ratchet and Clank, working on that some more. There's a couple other things I want to play, just random. I'm in a random mood. I just want to play random stuff right now. Anyways, that's about it for us. Thank you guys for bearing with us for episode 106 of Gaming's Greatness Generation Podcast. It would help if I could say my words at the end of the show here. Feel free to like, subscribe, share with a friend. As far as technical difficulties, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and work on some of this stuff going forward, see how to spruce this up. I don't know if it's my side of the house or what, but I'll try and get that fixed for everybody. So that being said, feel free to check us out. Check out past episodes, all that good stuff. You know, when it gets uploaded later, it's quality. And with that, remember, guys, get out there, play some stuff. Gaming's Greatest Generation is the one you guys are a part of. All right, and yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. As I'm looking at it, I was like, shit, it's still getting feedback from us while it's trying to play the thing. So I gotta fucking fix all of this now. Really annoying. Why are you saying? Yeah, and it said overloaded.